Hey guys, how we doing? I just got my Lightbar from CyberGear. I'm gonna go ahead and do a full install on it, just so I figured everybody can see it, since I think one of the earlier, at least, people to go ahead and get one. So it's always nice to see kind of DIY videos because you see them from different angles and stuff like that. So I might add a little bit. This isn't any type of a advertisement or promotion for CyberGear. This is just me buying it because I've been wanting the light bar, and I honestly wanted to wait for the OEM light bar, but Lord knows that could take forever, or they might even cancel it at some point, and just not provide it outside of the Cyber Beast Foundation guys. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the install. Bear with me. I don't do videos, so if it's choppy, if it's ugly, if the whatever, I apologize. It's not my thing, but this was just more so informative. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna take a hop into it. All right, so I live in Portland, Oregon. We have rain all the time, especially right now. Right now, I think it's about 44 degrees outside. I just washed the car, so it's nice and clean surface to go ahead and do the adhesion process and everything of this. I contacted CyberGear, asking them about doing this at least when it was dry and then leaving it for the 48 hours outside, potentially in the rain and such. And they said that's okay, as long as you're doing the install portion where it's dry. So yeah, excited to throw it in. It definitely looks better than I expected. I think my only thing is I wish, personally, that it wasn't gloss black finish. I wish there was a matte or satin black finish to it. Obviously, I've got the satin finish, so would have been nice to have the option. I might go ahead and cover it later on, but that's okay. So anyways, lining it up and such, I mean, this is what we're looking at right here. You can see right here in the middle, and then at the other end too, there's these little kind of tabs. There we go. Little tabs that will fit just behind the windshield portion itself. So I think that's the hardest thing. Again, this is probably if you can do it with two people, it would be best. I'm gonna go ahead and try to be a knucklehead and do this on my own. So we'll see how this goes. My plan is, just because I don't have a second hand, I don't have a tripod on me. Plan is to go ahead and split the tape in the middle and kind of pull from the middle outward with it in place. We'll see how this obviously goes. Maybe I might revise and do it just from an end. We'll see, but stay tuned. All right, so what I have chosen to do, after kind of looking at it, I took the one piece off on that side just to go ahead and stick it down in place to kind of hold as my second set of hands. I came over to this side, I took off the underside piece here, and then I pulled both of these back. My thought process is I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in place. Once it's in place, I should be able to go ahead and pull these all the way back. And then from there, I can go ahead and use the suction cup. So we shall take a look and see. There we go, gives me a little better angle. Okay, so I went ahead and did what I said, pulling it from that side. So just so you can see now, not taped. Probably get it under the wires here, I think. Yeah, and there she be. Just like the same thing here. Come on. And there we go. Okay, so after that's done, give it a nice good push down all the way across. You can see again here, lined up perfectly fine. Lined up, I've got my edge here, same as over there. I'm actually pretty impressed. This whole entire process so far has taken me 5 minutes, basically. And that was just me kind of having to look at it a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and add the suction cups now. All right, suction cups, pretty dang straightforward. I mean, little cheap, I guess, maybe feel on the suction cup side of things. The whole assembly's nice, but the suction cup, we'll see. There's a little bit of powder and stuff. I recommend washing or wiping that down just so you get that away, so you kind of get the best adhesion possible on the glass. The other thing I've noticed too is don't crank this down too much, because this is still, I mean, it's plastic, and so you don't want to go ahead and crack or crush it. I'm not sure, you know, how tight. I guess it's going to be an at-will sort of thing. Use common sense with it, but other than that, from what the pictures show, you know, roughly right here-ish in the middle of each light. So basically doing that, loosening it up to kind of get it in the right spot. And then I'm going to push it down, making sure to get all the, and it sticks at least really nice, which is reassuring. But again, we'll see. I'm again in a climate that's colder, which would lead me to believe that temperature differentials might not play as nice into things, especially overnight. So I don't know, I might even throw blankets on top just to kind of keep things relatively warm in case, but that's it. All right, so all the suction cups are in. One thing I'm doing, probably not necessary, and probably better if you use actually a blow dryer, to be honest. This isn't going too hot or anything like that, but I probably should have warmed the glass surface better for the adhesion process. Since I'm again in a colder climate, I warmed the actual light bar itself. I took it inside, put it by a floor register, and then put some blankets over it, so it just kind of made a little tent. So it warmed the bar up really nicely, at least all the adhesion, but probably should have maybe just warmed the glass area a little bit. Either way, hoping that this might just help just that little bit more. For those of you in warmer climates right now, you can disregard completely, but maybe otherwise something to kind of think about. And I would probably use a blow dryer. This isn't that hot, as you can see. So, food for thought. All right, so this is what I expect to probably take longer, the process of wiring. So we have to remove this trim piece here. They don't really give anything specific besides just remove it. What I found, I'm gonna try to do this with two hands, so bear with me. I took my fingers kind of as I lifted a little bit here, and I was able to find, kind of wiggling, roughly where the clips are. So I would kind of get under there, find the clip, and kind of wiggle. That worked really, really well for me. It feels incredibly unnerving doing it, because it's plastic and you feel like it's gonna crack it. And there it goes. But you can see it wasn't too bad. And flip it over. That's what we're working with. So, to the wiring. All right, guys. So, I'm going to do this a little different than what they say in the instructions. They provide you with electrical tape and stuff to make your own connections. I have the ability. I've got tools. I've got a soldering iron. I've got heat shrink tubing. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to solder this just to have a great connection, and then heat shrink over it. That's just me probably taking extra steps that I don't need to do. But of course, it doesn't hurt. So you can do it however you want. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you the final product. All right, moment of truth. Looks like it turned on, we'll see. And it looks like I've got light. Beautiful. So one thing I always do before I do heat shrink or close up a job, obviously I did my soldering here, but I always want to make sure that's actually functioning. So I'm going to go ahead and heat shrink this, button it all up. Let you guys see kind of the final product, everything looks like. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to show you something real quick. So I'm going to stay like that. Yep. Okay, so I've gone through, I've done my heat shrinking. I'm wrapping it back up now with the electrical tape. One thing, one of those you learned from Grandpa, who was an electrical engineer on Minuteman rockets. So he knew his stuff. I take his word for it. But when you use an electrical tape and you're wrapping with it, after you wrap, like go around, you pull a little bit of tension, it stretches as you're wrapping. Reason for that is the electrical tape then, after it's gone through, it actually tightens itself then around the wiring a little bit. It just gives a much stronger bond of the adhesion, making it also much more waterproof. So for those of you that especially are not doing any type of soldering and just doing this, just a quick tip. All right, guys, finished product minus all the Clearly Canadian. No sponsored plug or anything there. We just happen to have some of it. And it fit perfectly up there just to add weight and whatnot. So overall, pretty dang happy. With the Clearly off, obviously it sits nice and level. Got a little bit of curvature in it, but more than anything else is it doesn't make it look full-blown aftermarket, which with the other ones that are sticking up and such or having to use the mounts, I wasn't a big fan of it personally. This was very easy to do. Surprisingly easy to do, actually. So this whole entire project, if I wasn't actually recording it, I bet personally I could have probably knocked it out in 20 minutes by myself. A second set of hands would have made it go a little bit faster. I was going to show you here. There's the wiring, so that's really all you see of it. I probably could have wrapped that in black. I might still do it. Just pop this up and redo that. The other thing I might consider doing, I'll kind of watch and see. I might notch this piece, put a little notch so it's just smoother for the wiring to go through it. That would be kind of my only observations from that. But yeah, other than that, super pumped. I bought the kit that has the continuation of the daytime running lights. So I'm going to do that install next. So yeah, hope this helped, guys. And yeah, have fun out there.